The start of the new season is almost upon us. It is time to head back to the track. 2022 was a year full of excitement, action and entertainment. In 2023, we can expect much more of the same, and there are some changes afoot. There will be no more heated tyres, no tyre blankets, no tyre ovens, and there will be just one wet and one dry compound of tyre. LMP2 Pro-Am becomes its own separate class with its own separate qualifying as well. And the qualifying sessions have been extended from 10 to 15 minutes for each of our classes. Contenders ready. Let's get this thing started.
Hello and welcome to Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya, the home of the incredible season opener that we are sure to have for this 2023 ELMS season. Now, it's sure to be an absolute cracker with this fantastic class of drivers that we have lined up for you, including the 2016 Le Mans winner, Neil Jani. Let's discover more about him.
I don't drink coffee, always tea. So what I learned actually since COVID is I always use my right hand to pick and I only eat with my left hand. Then I'm always clean, no? Beautiful day, huh?
Barcelona morning 9 o'clock is always good track conditions.
Do you have some stress because it's a beginning of a new season for you?
My stress? It's joy, no? It's a nice moment. If I would be stressed, I'm in the wrong job. I would need to do something else.
Oh, there we are there. I was like, no, where are we now? Neil Jani. I'm racing for Duquesne Racing this year in ELMS plus Le Mans. Definitely, it's nice to be back in ELMS. Last time I drove ELMS was basically the series which was before ELMS, Le Mans series just called. And that's like 10 years ago, I think, even more. Yeah, you know, I'm still getting to know the team. It's the first time I met the team was last year in December. And now over the testing phase, so for sure getting to know them more and more. Well, my habits are, over the years, you know, with my experience, they have grown. And clearly there's a short warm-up. I just like a warm-up in terms of warm-up and stretching a bit. I talk to the engineers a bit, get a feel for what's happening on the track, what's the plan, and then get going. Sometimes while driving, when you're completely focused, but you're in a long run, you start thinking about other things like, oh, did I go shopping, or did I buy that, or am I missing that, or did I forget that? I didn't buy, or like I forgot to buy some yogurts, or I don't know what. And suddenly they say, oh, the stint end, pit now. And like, oh, when did those 25 laps happen? It's like, they went so quick. The goal is very clear. It's the reason why also Duquesne got me. They said, look, we want to win. We need to win and we need to get that car up front. And well, that's what we will put all our energy into. I think I can be very happy to be in this situation in my life, to be able to do that and to live that actually. So, you know, I'm relaxed on that. I would say I'm living the time of my life still, so I'm very happy.
Box.
We're on the ground here in Barcelona. Let's see what this incredible track has to offer with last year's winning driver, Louis Delatraz. Come with me. Hello
Hi.
Louis, how are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm very well, thank you. So talk us through this track. We're currently going up a bit of a hill. It's almost a little bit of a blind corner, isn't it?
Yeah, to enter is blind, it's uphill, and I think it's critical here in Barcelona because of the front left tires to not overheat it. And I mean, you will see a lot of people running wide, a lot of marbles, so it's a critical part of the track.
And you were the winner last year around this 4 hours of Barcelona. What's your secret? Are you going to do it again this year?
I think this year with the package we have, I think we'll be competitive too, and I hope to make it 3 out of 3 here, so definitely we'll be all pushing for it.
All right, Louis, we're now coming up to turn 10. What are the characteristics of this corner?
Turn 10 has changed some years ago. Very late braking because you have a high speed, and then you really want to hit that apex, try to have a clean exit, but the corner is much longer than you think, and it's really tough on the tires, so a lot of critical points here. We arrive around roughly 250 kph and down to second gear, which will be, I'm not sure actually, 80, 90 kph here, so quite a big brake zone.
Okay, here we're at the modification, the bit of the circuit that's actually changed. Instead of going through this chicane here, it's going to be all the way around here. Flat out?
Yeah, very fast corner, new curves, gravel on the exit, very challenging for sure. And yeah, a lot to discover. I'm not sure if it will be flat out.
We'll see when we get racing. So everybody will be getting used to it. Do you think it could present some problems come race day?
Well, I don't know, looking at it, maybe the inside here we could maybe use a bit track limits, but honestly, without being in the car, it's hard to say. We're walking 3 kph and we come here probably with 150 next time, so big difference.
Definitely. Well, thank you for letting us jump in with your track walk and telling us all about the corners. Best of luck at the weekend. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
New report, all about team spirit. Now, the start of a season always brings the energy and excitement. Let's see what the vibe's like in here in Nielsen Racing.
I'm Stuart Mosley. I'm the team manager at Nielsen Racing. In the ELMS, we're running the P2 car that you see behind me and the Ligier P3 car that's just over my other shoulder.
Fight fire with a flame, no desire for the fame. Blood in my veins, the true love with the game. You better get out of the way.
One of the things that makes Nielsen Racing, I think, a good working environment is that the guys are very good at having fun when there is time to have fun, but they're also very good at knuckling down and making sure we get the work done at the right times and in a professional manner.
I think these are done looking at these.
Right, okay.
It is a mixture of everything. It's a great team. They've obviously got great pace, great performance, very professional, and got the wackiest cars on the grid. Tony's gonna have a little present. So I haven't finished it yet. Yeah. Tony can have a little present of his one tyre. It's like a big family, to be fair. Every day is a fun day, and yeah, it's a great bunch of people to work with.
We've approximately 32 people this weekend. You know, when you're at a racetrack, you are spending a huge amount of time with the people that you're working with. I like to feel like I have a good relationship with each person in the team, and it's important everyone has a good morale, everyone's happy around each other, and even the ones of us that get on the best can still, you know, find that a little tricky after a long weekend. 100% proud to be the team manager of Nielsen Racing. I'm proud of the work that these guys put in to help us as a team achieve the results that we've been able to achieve, and that's something that's quite close to my heart anyway, so it's great to be part of Nielsen Racing.
So the drivers are behind me, acting like models for the day, and they're having their photos taken. It might be the time to ask them some special questions. So let's head to Box, Box, Box.
Welcome to Box, Box, Box. Happy to be here. Who are you? I'm Rui Andrade and I'm racing for the number 43 LMP2 car with Inter Europol. How old are you? I am 23 years old. Between 1 and 10, how do you rate your haircut and why? I would say a solid 10. I think I look amazing, aerodynamic, quick for the weekend. Tell me which actor you look like and why. I've heard Will Smith. I'm not sure I agree with the statement. Can you describe us your worst quality? Oh, I'm a terrible loser. Your best quality? Oof. I think I'm a pretty good teammate. What kind of habits you have before a session? Really, it depends. Sometimes I try to listen to music, but this never really works out. What is your best joke? I'm terrible at jokes. Really bad, so I'm not gonna try one on camera because this will be held up against me for the rest of the year, so I'd rather not try. Read as fast as possible the next sentence. Oh, this is gonna be bad, isn't it? Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Did Peter Piper pick a peck of pickled peppers? That was good. Are you able to make your best funny face? Guys, what is this? What is a funny face? I'll try. This better not go on the show, huh? True or false? In 2023, you are going to win a race. Extremely true. Come back to the end and see. Good luck and thank you. Thank you, guys.
Let's slow things down for a minute before we speed things up with qualifying and take a look inside Cool Racing.
Start in 1 minute. 1 minute before green flag.
Pit exit is open. Please remind drivers to heat up the cars before they start fighting the clock.
Party mode, mate. Party mode.
They go out, they try to bat one set, for the race maybe, and they change them.
Party mode off. Party mode off. Box for new tires. Box for new tires. Okay, mate, so we are on time for the same sequence. Outwarm 2 push laps. Provisional pole is Allen in 29.8. 29.8.
So it's currently 3.
Car behind you is Jani, 5 seconds off on a push lap. Awesome job, mate. Pole position, awesome job. Top job, really. Congrats.
Thank you very much.
To get underway, and as you can see, there are thousands of fans here in the pit lane for the autograph session discovering ELMS. But now let's concentrate and take a look at the grid.
I'm a winner till the day I die. I'm a winner till the day I die.
Martin Berry clinched the pole position for car number 66, JMW Motorsport. In LMP3, Marco Sibert put his Cool Racing car, number 17, on pole position as well. In LMP2 Pro-Am, Sally Yoluk put his car on pole position, car number 34 for Racing Team Turkey. In LMP2, as we saw before, Richard de Geroux clinched his very first pole position for the Cool Racing car number 47.
3 minutes board, 3 minutes board. Please clear the grid, clear the grid.
Copy, radio check, radio check.
Thirty seconds board, 30 seconds. Start of the formation up, start of the formation up.
Leaders to keep it down, leaders to control the pace of the rest of the car. The leading car is peeling off.
Vladislav Lomko paces the field for Cool Racing Algarve Pros. Kiffin Simpson alongside. Red lights on the gantry as they come on to the start-finish straight here in Barcelona, ready to get the 2023 season underway in the European Le Mans Series. Red lights are out, away we go. Vladislav Lomko leads, tucking in behind him Algarve Pros, Kiffin Simpson, and that's because the United Autosports car Marino Sato is charging. Looking down the inside, little bit of a lock-up into turn one, can't get through. Good judgment there. Interior pole going around the outside. Rui Andrade got ahead of René Binder for Duquesne. Ooh, and there's a little bit of trouble towards the tail of the field, but the race leader Vladislav Lomko is on his way. Algarve Pro in second place with Kevin Simpson ahead of United's Marino Sato. Oh, and trouble behind. Leonard Weiss in the middle of the track on the right. On the left-hand side, that's Arnaud Robin. Started the TF Sport Aston Martin. There's the 25 Algarve Pro, Kevin Simpson chasing Vladislav Lomko for Cool Racing. And United Autosports car Marino Sato in third place, red, white and blue, there he is. Now let's see, trouble in the midfield. Oh, it was a spin. And not just Leonard Weiss. Somebody else made contact with him, and then off went the Aston in avoidance. Oh, and it's not the only one. 77, that's Christian Ried. 44, that's Jens Muller for GmbH Motorsport. They're running an Aston Martin here. Safety car is out. That car's going no further. Right front corner ripped off. I bet he made contact with Leonard Weiss. Vladislav Lomko then. One lap. And there is Christian Ried, the very damaged 77 Porsche, along with the Aston Martin. Safety car is out to pick up the leaders. And there will be a considerable clear-up time. I do not think that Aston is going any further, I'm afraid. Danish team GmbH runs Hondas in GT3 in the Michelin Le Mans Cup, but it is GTE here in European Le Mans Series, so they're using this Aston Martin. First time out this season. Not an auspicious debut, I'm afraid. Watch the start again as the poleman on the left in the grey car, Vladislav Lomko, gets away. Watch at the next few rows from the driver's left. Algarve Pro's Kiffin Simpson and Marino Sato from row 2. Diving down the inside, looking for second place. Didn't quite have enough confidence in the tyres there. No tyre warmers, no heated tyres this year. And then there was trouble behind. I think it was all triggered. I don't know if he was touched into a spin or spun on his own. But the number 12 machine in the middle of the pack. A disaster for Leonard Weiss. WTM by Rinaldi Racing. They get through 1 and 2, and then it's in corner 3. Number 12 car right in the middle of the pack. Coming down the inside here. So he's clear there alongside another of the cool racing cars behind the Team Virage red and yellow and orange car. And then did he get tagged from behind? Looks as though he might have done. He gets through there. And then as the camera follows him round, he's in the middle of the road. And cars off everywhere. Here's the view of Proton's Michael Fassbender. There's the Aston right in front, and whoa! Fassbender just managed to avoid that.
Here with Jens Moller, driver of car number 44, the GMB Motorsport. Jens, just tell us about that incident and how it was from your perspective.
Yeah, it was really bad luck. I was very cautious at the start. And then suddenly there was the LMP3 car in front of me, and I turned to pass around it on the left, but then there was a guy next to me and I hit the LMP3 car with my right hand side. So yeah, I think it's over, unfortunately. So I tried really to be cautious and to make a good start, but yeah, that's racing.
It's a real shame for you as well, isn't it? How was the car feeling underneath you prior to this?
Yeah, it's really a shame. I think we had a good chance to make a decent result here in the first race for the LMS, but yeah, it was not our day. Yeah, not much to say.
Here's Jens's onboard view of the start. Following the Porsche through the turn. Cars running wide in front and then nowhere to go. Christian Reed collects the side of his car. And that's what put Reed off. And another couple of cars involved as well. Behind the safety car, someone's lost a tyre. The United car of Sato off on the extreme left of the picture. Is it him? It is Marino Sato. Look, the car is down on that left-hand side, the driver's side. It's got no rear tyre, and he did not come into the pits. Clearly, he did not know he had an issue. Well, that might be a very, very long slow-in lap if he makes it round. Effectively with one-wheel drive because the narrow edges of that wheel rim are doing nothing. On board again with Michael Fassbender. I think he just got away with that, didn't he? But there will have been debris everywhere, and they will have caught some of that perhaps in their tyres under the safety car. Looking back, the black car, Christian Reed, green and white. That's Duncan Cameron, had just got in front of him. Now, watch Christian. He disappears out of shot trying to avoid the action. But he's collected the Aston Martin at that stage. One of the Team Virage cars is off as well. In the pits finally, 22. That is Marino Sato. Well, they will change the wheel, but they will have to check to make sure there is no further damage. Getting the rear bodywork back on. Make sure the wing's in the right place. Sebastian Montoya, the 81 Dragon Speed car. That, we think, was the car that also got collected by the Aston Martin. Jens Muller thought it was a P3 car. It's a P2 car. But he wasn't expecting one of them to come from behind him. Out goes Sato. Sebastian Montoya also being released by the team. He's sharing that with his father, Juan Pablo. Some absolutely stellar names in this pack this season. Back to green flag racing. Ferrari battle. The car guys, Kessel Racing Machine 57 and JMW, the other yellow Ferrari. Martin Berry, the pole man, versus Takeshi Kimura. He is Mr. Car Guy. Battle for third in GTE. On board with Michael Fassbender. Porsche closing in from behind, the Hollywood actor becoming more and more experienced as Martin Berry dives down the inside of Takeshi Kimura. He's up to third. Michael Fassbender down the inside into turn one. The Proton competition car in third place. Takeshi Kimura got a bit of a run on him and got by at the line. And now Fassbender back down the inside into turn one. Good move for third. Rui Andrade for Interpol, sixth in LMP2. But the team have an issue with the car. Red lights are flashing at the rear. That is not a good sign. And he is not making good speed at the moment. Algarve Pro still leading from Duquesne and Cool Racing. Interpol working on the car in the garage. Looks as though they have a gearbox issue. Rui Andrade, the flag of Angola, his native country. In the battle for third place, this has just happened. This is Manuel Maldonado in the 65 Panis car, going by the man who was on pole, Vladislav Lomko, in the 47 Cool Racing entry. On-board replay down the hill into turn 5, a classic Barcelona pass.
Tell us, how was that stint for you?
Yeah, I mean, the start was good, was clean. I jumped 2 positions right at the beginning. And then the United had some problems, so we were running P3. Pace was good, and we were comfortably in the top 3 fighting for P2. And then, unfortunately, we had some kind of gearbox issue in the end. These things happen. It's annoying because the car was actually really strong. Let's see now if the team can get the car back out.
Do you think it's possible? I mean, we see that Ollie is ready to jump in for his stint as well. The mechanics are obviously working on it. Are you going to be able to recover from this?
Well, I hope so. Obviously, right now it's going to be tough to fight for any position, but it's a long championship. We can still score some points today, and for my teammates to get some laps in as well, and feel the car and everything is important. So hopefully the car can go back out, but a shame to end a race like this.
All right, well, best wishes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Lead battle in LMP3, Interpol versus Cool Racing. Both teams with cars in LMP2 and LMP3. Manuel Cristobal started the race for Interpol. And alongside him on the grid was the number 17 car started by Adrian Keeler. Not much in it, just 0.6 of a second. This could be a close one for the lead. And of course, their 2 teammates still to come. Driver change has happened at Dragon Speed. This is not Sebastian Montoya, this is Juan Pablo Montoya in the pits for a new tail on the car. Looks like that too was damaged in their contact on the opening lap with the stricken Aston Martin. Of course, an LMP2 car right behind the LMP3 leading into Europol machine coming through on the inside in its battle with Algarve Pro. Miguel Cristobal trying to stay out of the way, runs out very wide onto the gravel. Adrian Keeler goes through for the lead in P3. Traffic didn't fall well for Europol, but did for Cool Racing. Juan Pablo Montoya at Dragon Speed. They've had a tough weekend, didn't set a time in qualifying, started from last on the grid, got caught up in the first lap accident. Still in the race though. This is where the LMP3 lead changed. The Interpol car running out wide onto the marbles and then drifting into the gravel. Cool Racing picking up the lead. Sally Jolic started the Racing Team Turkey car from pole position in LMP2. In the Pro-Am class, they are still the Pro-Am leaders. Charlie Eastwood now 5 minutes in the car, getting up to speed as he begins his stint. Irish driver finding his way past the JMW Ferrari. Have to pick and choose your places here, even in an LMP2 car. Car being run again by TF Sport, Tom Ferrier's team that ran Sally Jolic successfully in GT Astons for several seasons. Race leader James Allen in the blue and black Algarve Pro car that started from second on the grid, ahead of the number 30 Duquesne car of Nicolas Pino. Well, that car is in second place on the road, but right behind Allen now and diving down to the inside is the EDEC Sport car, Paul-Luc Chatin, a lap behind, trying to unlap himself, and Allen rolls back into the gravel. Oh dear, that did not go well for the Algarve Pro driver. Not sure how the stewards will see that, whether they will judge the lapped car to have lunged late on the leader, or whether James Allen will be seen to have turned in a little bit late in defence. Here is Nicolas Pinot in second place for Duquesne, but as he comes to the line, that will be the race leader. Yellow flags are out. Are we going to go safety car or full course yellow? It's going to take something to get the Algarve Pro car out of the gravel though.
Prepare pit entry closed, prepare full course yellow at 13:32:30. In 35 seconds we go full course yellow.
Well, this was not maybe the best judged move by the EDEC Sport driver. Down the inside of the race leader. His team should have told him which of the Algarve Pro cars he was battling. And James Allen needed to get on the brakes earlier. Nicolas Pinot with Charlie Eastwood behind him. This is the battle for the overall race lead. Duquesne ahead of Pro-Am leader Racing Team Turkey. And Neil Jani suiting up for the Duquesne team. Well, he is not the only stellar driver in this field. There are loads of them. Charlie Eastwood has raced in the World Endurance Championship himself. Nicolas Pinot, perhaps with his eyes on that goal in the not too distant future. And the JMW Motorsport Ferrari, the meat in the sandwich there, doing a good job to allow the quicker cars through without compromising his own line. Little lock up from Charlie Eastwood. Nothing in it. LMP2 leader and LMP2 Pro-Am leader battling for overall supremacy here. Eastwood shaping up down the inside of turn 6 and 7. Through he goes. That's a good pass. Charlie Eastwood leads the race and Pro-Am for Racing Team Turkey, and somebody else is off. That's the number 4 DKR engineering car in LMP3. Take a look again at Charlie Eastwood's move down the inside here. Sits behind, sells it as a big defensive move, and then cuts through on the inside. Put the Duquesne car under pressure. And through he went. He planned that well in advance. More trouble, and that's the Proton competition car in the gravel. And somebody disappearing stage left out of turn 3. 93 machine stranded, and it looks like there was contact for Martin Rump, the Estonian driver. The red and white car might have been from Ultimate. Let's take a look at the replay. Well, here is Rump down the inside the Dragon Speed P2 car. It is the Ultimate P3 car on the curbs, can't avoid a spin, clatters into Martin Rump, and the Porsche, the innocent victim there. On board with the 93, there's the Dragon Speed car, clump from alongside. I'm afraid the Ultimate driver just going for a gap that was no longer there. Into the final half hour, Louis Delatraz. Is it flat for Racing Team Turkey in the final corner? Well, maybe not with that bit of damaged bodywork, but he still leads the race and Pro-Am. Duquesne in second, leading LMP2, EDEC Sport and Panis second and third. Then the AF Corsa 83 car, second in Pro-Am, 37 from Cool Racing, third in Pro-Am. LMP3, Racing Spirit Le Mans on the top of the pile. Battle for fourth place. In the background is the Panis Racing car number 65. That is in fourth, and with the red, white and blue for AF Corsa down the inside. Good pass from Ben Barnicoat, taking no prisoners there either. So he is up to fourth place overall. Still second in Pro-Am in LMP2. And it might be third overall as EDEC Sport are in the pits. Classic down the hill into turn 5 pass here in Barcelona. Speed out of 3 is so important to set this up. And once you've got the run on the car in front, they really can't do much about you. Not just us who've noticed the bit of loose bodywork on the race leader's car. The stewards have as well, and Racing Team Turkey must pit to repair the back of the car. That is a disaster. They're leading the race overall, they're leading their Pro-Am category as well, but Louis Delatraz must stop, and that means that fellow Swiss Neil Jarni will inherit the lead. Well, that is absolutely disastrous for Racing Team Turkey. Neil Jarni in his first race in the European Le Mans Series in its current guise. As he said earlier in the show, he first raced in it when it was the Le Mans Series, before World Endurance took over. And Duquesne Engineering leading the race. Or they will be, once Racing Team Turkey make their mandatory stop for repairs. Now, I don't know what they can do and how quickly they can do it, but Tom Ferrier's TF Sport team will be working like madmen to try and get this car out of the pits as soon as possible. There's the Duquesne garage, Gilles Duquesne in the wheelchair watching the action. Everything crossed as Racing Team Turkey's time in the pits counts up. Here comes the Duquesne car. There goes the Racing Team Turkey machine. That's great work by TF Sports Mechanics. Is it enough?
We'll fight with the leader at the exit of the pit. We'll fight with the leader at the exit of the pit. You're currently leading. 20 minutes remaining. We'll be informing you about the gap.
Well, he might have thought that he was looking for the Duquesne car in his mirrors, but it's already gone through into the lead. So 25 minutes and the lead falling into the lap of Duquesne. Racing Team Turkey still leading LMP2 ahead of AF Course of the 83 car, don't forget. And penalties for Nielsen and Ultimate for full course yellow infringements. But to win this, Louis Delatraz is going to have to catch and pass fellow Swiss Neil Jarni in the Duquesne car, and that may not be easy. I'm sure Jarni would love to give the team win on their debut. 47 Cool Racing car has a stop and go for contact. Meanwhile, there is the lead battle. The gap is right down. Neil Jarni is not lapping as quick as Louis Delatraz in the red car behind him. Just over 15 minutes to go, and Delatraz is right there with the Duquesne driver. Whoa, big moment for Neil Jarni. He's really pushing on tired tyres. Louis Delatraz closing in from behind. You just saw the Racing Team Turkey garage as well. And there is Gilles Duquesne and his team. Well, whoever wins this, it'll be a huge victory. And how much does Louis Delatraz push if it comes down to it? Well, we might find out soon, because there is traffic ahead. First car they get to, the 51 AF Corsa Ferrari. Neil Jarni goes inside, does not go inside into turn 4. Delatraz is going to have a run here down the hill. No, he's not. He's having a run here now. Jarni goes outside. Delatraz tries to go inside, but the Ferrari runs out wide and Delatraz can't get through. The nerve ends are jangling in the garages, no doubt, and Delatraz this time sends it and sends it deep. Wow, great move by Louis Delatraz through 6 and 7. He takes the lead of the race. Sally Jolic can't believe it, look at him. So Racing Team Turkey back in front. 15 minutes to go. It is not necessarily all over yet for Gilles Duquesne and his team. So we've got Pro-Am, LMP2, Pro-Am, LMP2, Pro-Am, LMP2. The Pro-Am cars are going extremely well at the end of this race. Now for Louis Delatraz, that is a big scalp against a driver the calibre of Neil Jarni, even if he hasn't driven a prototype in a couple of years and an LMP2 car in who knows how long. Even so, Louis Delatraz came, saw and conquered. And now he must make good his escape, try and build as much of a lead as possible. Fourth place battle in LMP2, Panis Racing, and in LMP2 Pro-Am, the 37 grey car from Cool Racing. And with a great run out of the final corner, here comes the Cool car. There's action in front in LMP3. Jaap van Uytert covers Marty Jacobsen, sends it late though, waited for Van Uytert to go back onto the racing line. The Dutch driver wanted to do that to get the run through the turn. Marty Jacobsen, the Dane, did not care. He is through and up to fourth place, and he is gone. The driver and tyre strategy all panning out here at the end of this race. Racing Team Turkey leading from Duquesne, AF Corsa and now Cool Racing, 3 Pro-Am teams in the top 4. Race leader Louis Delatraz in traffic, finds his way by the Proton Porsche. Neil Jarni dropping another quarter of a second in the first sector, the gap continues to grow. 137.16 to 137.42. They're not massive margins, but they are margins all the same. And Louis Delatraz is stacking them up, building that advantage over Neil Jarni. Out to nearly 4 seconds now. AF Corsa nearly 12 back, and Cool Racing 14.15 behind them. And Panis Racing very close, the 65 car to the 37, but that Cool Racing car has gone by and looks like it is building an advantage now. Closing stages for the TF Sport team, Racing Team Turkey, and for Duquesne Engineering. Well, both will get a class win, but who will take the overall? Past JMW again, such an easy car to spot with that black and Dayglow yellow. Racing Team Turkey head across the line again. Duquesne managing the gap now, it's coming back down, 3.8, 3.4, 3.0, but not fast enough surely. In LMP3, Racing Spirit of Le Mans from Cool Racing, this is that battle. Antoine Decaux and Marcos Siebert. Nothing in it at all here. This could be a real grandstand finish. Siebert, the Argentine, chasing the Frenchman, Antoine Decaux. And it looks like he's got better pace as well. It's been really nip and tuck, but it's down to half a second. He's in the tow. He might need to do it this time round. Team can barely bear to watch. They won the GT3 category on their debut in the Michelin Le Mans Cup the previous day. Now can they win in LMP3? Certainly they are hanging on there. But Marcos Siebert all over the back of Antoine Decaux. Stop and go for abusing track limits from the number 8 Team Virage LMP3 car that started at the back of the field. That will not affect this battle, but any traffic in front might do, or even a quicker car from behind. Looks like the track is empty though for this LMP3 lead battle, and they might be very glad of that. At least Antoine Decaux might well be very glad of that. Marcos Siebert less so. He might need a bit of help, unless he can find something very special down the hill into the final corner and then drag race to the line. Louis Delatraz still leading comfortably for Racing Team Turkey, or as comfortably as you can do with Neil Jarni trying to run you down. There he is. Jarni closing the gap down now to 2.5 seconds. Delatraz will not be panicking yet. Doesn't look like our race leader at LMP3 is panicking either, but Antoine Decaux will definitely have his eyes on the mirrors. Marcos Siebert coming up behind him. He's about half a second back, maybe 6/10 as they come across the line, maybe less than that actually. 18 thousandths he's closed. on that last lap. Now this is not the last lap of the race yet. The leader will start the last lap next time round. So these guys have got this one plus one more. Not what our leader Antoine Ducan will want to hear, I don't think. Not sure Louis Delatraz is overly fussed. He's got Neil Jarni bottled up behind. 2.6 seconds back. But the gap is coming down. Gap's not really coming down in the lead of LMP3. But it doesn't need much for Marcus Siebert to have a lunge at Antoine Ducan in front of him. Final lap for the race leader. Final lap as well for Duquesne. The two Swiss drivers at the front of the field. Louis Delatraz in the red car with the black highlights. And Neil Jarni in the black car with the green highlights. And here might be the chance for a change in LMP3. United P2 car right behind will want to go by. Does he get by one of them or both of them? Cool Racing will not want him to interfere, at least not to their detriment. Racing Spirit of Le Mans will not want them to interfere to their detriment either. Leaders on the final lap. LMP3 battle comes across the line. Here comes the P2 car. Will it get by both of them? And will it offer a chance for Cool Racing to tow up behind it? No, not enough. Gets a bit of a tow. Closes in on Racing Spirit of Le Mans. Final lap for LMP3. Final lap for GTE. Final lap for LMP2 and Pro-Am. On board with Louis Delatraz. Well, this is going to be an excellent start to the season for Racing Team Turkey. Checker flag is out. Victory in Barcelona for Racing Team Turkey. They win in LMP2 Pro-Am. Louis Delatraz holding it to the line to beat Duquesne and AF Corsa. Racing Spirit of Le Mans taking victory from Cool Racing and into Europol. And the GTE winners Proton competition ahead of Formula Racing and JMW.
Thank you very much. First of all, I want to say a big thank you to the team and my two teammates because they gave me the car in the lead and everything was going so perfect. We've been strong all weekend and I think we made it clear that we come here not to win Pro-Am, but we want to win races overall. And we didn't expect to do it straight away, but honestly, it's fantastic.
Duquesne finished second, AF Corsa second in Pro-Am, our third overall. Applause from Gilles Duquesne and the team as René Binder, Nicolas Pino and Neil Jarni take second overall and victory in LMP2.
A tricky race, there was a lot going on in the beginning, some safety cars. We struggled a bit in the beginning with getting the tires up to temperature and up to heat, but then all went well. I think we didn't have the fastest car today, but we stayed out of trouble all the way, so we had a really clean race, no mistakes from the team, and that's where it's counted. And yeah, we had a very clean one and good race.
Duquesne on the top step of the podium then from Panis Racing and Edex Sport in LMP2. And they are the points leaders after the first of 6 races this season. It's a big win for TF Sports Team Turkey organisation, with AF Corsa and Cool Racing completing the Pro-Am podium. Charlie Eastwood, Louis Delatraz and Sally Jolic lead the standings. In LMP3, victory was hard fought, going to Racing Spirit of Le Mans, Jacques Wolf, Fabien Michel and Antoine Ducan.
Yes, it's been a really long race. And a good job for Antoine. It's big stint and a good start for Jacques. I am very happy for the team. And it's an amazing story. I am very happy for us.
And the story became more amazing post-race when it transpired that the team had just come into the pits for one of their stops under a full course yellow when the pits should have been closed. So they were penalised and dropped back to third. Cool Racing take the victory ahead of Inter Europol, and Racing Spirit of Le Mans in third in the standings as well. Victory in GTE went to Proton competition after Christian Ried's car was wrecked on the first lap. It wasn't the 93 car either, it was number 16, Zach Rubichon, Alessio Picariello and Ryan Hardwick.
That bit was nice, and yeah, just a clean stint. Can't thank our team, this Proton competition team. They definitely know this Porsche RSR because it was an amazing car to drive. Just nice and smooth, no mistakes, and it's a great way to start my first race experience here at European Le Mans.
And they were joined on the podium by Ferrari teams from Formula Racing and JMW Motorsport. And that is how they line up in the series standings so far.
So that concludes the thrilling opening round for European Le Mans Series here in Barcelona. Join us in July at Le Castellet for the second round of the season. See you then.